it's Emma and welcome to this week's video. And today I'm going to be giving a non-spoiler review of Illuminae. I know what you're thinking, Emma, how could you have not read this book yet? The second book is already out and you've heard amazing things about it, and how have you not read it? Well, I have read it now and I am ready to discuss because I loved it. I gave this book a 5 out of 5 stars on Goodreads, and I loved this book. This was like one of those books that is a surprise love. You weren't expecting to love it so much, but then you did, and there's no going back now. If you don't know what Illuminae is, seriously get your life together and go read it. It is a sci-fi about two main protagonists, Ezra Mason and Katie Grant, and they are on this planet which gets invaded. And the day that this planet gets invaded, Katie decides that it's a great idea to break up with her boyfriend, Ezra Mason. Yep. So, break up, planet gets invaded, pretty tough day, right? So they just barely make it off the planet and they get separated on two different ships, the Hypatia and the Alexander, and then there's a third ship, the Copernicus, with more survivors. And then stuff goes down. Oh yeah. I loved it so much that I ordered the second book and got checked on. And if you didn't know, this book is told in a very interesting way. It's not told in the standard book formatting at all. There's a lot of emails and IM messages and documents and surveillance footage, surveillance tapes, and just radioing back and forth. I don't know, there's a lot of different types of communication used, and I loved it. There's a lot of characters in here and you really grow attached to some of those characters. And I read this book with the audiobook, and I highly recommend reading it with the audiobook because the audiobook is so good. You have a whole cast to play the characters. Each person has their own voice, their sound effects and music, and it's just really awesome. I highly recommend using the audiobook when you read this book. Another bonus is that it's freaking amazing naked. Like, that's really awesome face on the inside. So overall, just a really aesthetically beautiful book. This story has character development and important characters that you grow to love in it, but it's also very plot driven. Things are pushed forward because of the plot and things that are happening. So if you're a plot person and you really like plot, I think that you'll like this book as well. And of course, if you like sci-fi, if you like Star Wars and Star Trek and aliens, I think you will really like this book. And it's a super quick read. I read it on audiobook, so it took me a couple days to read it because I can't just listen to my audiobook all the time. But it's really good. Like, just read it and trust me. My favorite page or way to read was probably, I don't know, I really did like Ezra. I thought he was funny, and I thought he had sass, and I thought he was witty, and I don't know, I just loved his humor, and I loved hearing from Ezra. And I loved the IM messaging between characters, so like between all the different characters, all the IM messaging I really liked. That was probably my favorite way of communicating in this book. That was one of my favorite. My second favorite was probably like the surveillance tapes, and if you read the book, you know what I'm talking about. If you haven't read the book, then you'll just have to find out. But the surveillance tape summaries were a second favorite. I really liked the guy on the audiobook. He had a funny accent, and his humor was also very funny to me. Another thing that I liked about this book is that it had humor in it, and it also had some very serious, scary moments. There were some horror aspects in this book, and I liked that blend of everything. It was intense. It felt like everyone was gonna die, and it was really intense, and I liked that sense of urgency and intensity in this book. I really felt like I was in space, living through all this nightmarish crap. Also it kind of had like a mystery element in there as well, because you're trying to figure out why this is happening, who did this, what is going on, and as you read and uncover all these documents, you kind of feel like a detective kind of figuring all this stuff out and putting the pieces together. So even if you like mystery, and you know, I think you might enjoy this. I don't know, I think a lot of people will enjoy this. Basically, I just made this video so I could rant about how good this book is for a couple minutes. That's all I have for you today. I really hope you enjoyed this week's video, and if you have any comments or questions, make sure to put them in the comment section down below. I love to hear from you guys. Just, if you love the Illuminae series, just like this video because I love it so much. I'll see you guys next time with another book discussion / recommendation video, and I'll see you soon. Bye!